Reorient ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
How's it going?
It's going good. Enjoying the not so hot day. And had a good long weekend. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. My plants are holding in there. We got them tarped up, so they're doing good. Staying warm inside. Have a sweater on for the first time in a minute.
Oh yeah. I probably wore sweaters and needed not to, but now I need to have one on.
Yeah. I know we talked about we had hoped we could do this outside, but
yeah. It's not quite snowing yet. I guess you were probably smarter than me. I picked all of my plants last night, and so if they weren't ready or not, I picked them, and so they're, I imagined that the weather was going to, destroy all of them, and I guess I'd rather have raw plants or not ready plants than not at all. So
yeah, we picked a lot, anything that was starting to ripen, and then covered the rest or moved them under the cover so they wouldn't get snow. But it's not snowing yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, here. Not enough
snow. So we are here for a purpose. Please forgive me for eating. I had to sneak in a few bites before we got started. But welcome to our Tuesday tour. We're doing it a little differently today because we wanted to really emphasize the Streets for People Summit and what that means to us, what that means for all. And so Kayla and I are going to do a interview format where we just go into a little bit about the Streets for People Summit, what we're excited for, what to expect. And so I'd like to start off from the basis, and if I can have, because we're doing it like we're doing it on the ground, if I could have Kayla, if you could introduce yourself, and then tell us what the Streets for People Summit is.
Yeah, so hey everybody, my name is Kayla Gilbert. I work for Denver Department of Transportation and Infrastructure. I'm also the program manager of the Denver Community Active Living Coalition. So this has been a program we've been running for, a little over 5 years now. I just hit my 5-year mark working with the city on this project. So yeah, pretty awesome. So the Streets for People Summit is a conference. So we've held this conference twice before. This will be our 3rd annual event. This one, obviously, that was going to be totally different because it's going to be virtual. Obviously, with everything going on right now, we thought it would be safer. We put out a quiz, and you guys told us that you'd be more comfortable with that. So we decided to go forward with that. This conference is an opportunity to explore different resources around active living and see different best practices from both around the world and locally about how to make it easier to walk, bike, use transit in the city, and how to make our neighborhoods more equitable, healthy, and active. We wanted to still host this event because we think it's really never been even more important for us to provide ample and safe spaces for people to be physically active and to connect with people. So that's what we're trying to do with this summit. It's going to be a 4-day experience with a lot of different options to get engaged in whatever way works for you. We'll also be recording a lot of the sessions to be available later. And we just want as many people as want to and come be part of our group and join in this conversation.
I think it's awesome that you didn't just decide to go virtual without asking the people, right? And this is what the people requested. And so I think it's really unique, not to just that we're in these times and days. We would have had to offer it virtually anyway, but we really want to make sure that we're taking care of the people who will attend and who have attended. And so kudos for the community engagement to deliver the right format, right? And so I also realized I did not introduce myself. My name is Christian Stewart. I also work with the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure with the Office of Community and Business Engagement. And I am also working with the CALC program. I am a community connector for Montbello. So, all right, let's the next question is, obviously this year looks a little different with COVID-19, as we just talked a little bit about, and all of our sessions are going virtual, but what else can attendees expect this year?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, it'll be a 4-day experience this year. In the past, we've packed it all into one evening with a big keynote that everyone attends to, and then some options that you can choose between for breakouts or walking tours. But we've heard in the past that it's just a lot in one night. And so with the opportunity to go virtual this year, we were like, why not spread it out a little bit, give people lots of different ways to engage at the time that works best for them. So we've got some sessions in the morning, some in the afternoons, and some in the evening, and we're even going into a Saturday session as well. If you work Monday through Friday, you can only do weekends. And then, as I mentioned too, we'll be recording a lot of our big keynote sessions as well. But one of the biggest things that I'm really excited about for this year is a totally new thing called Global Conversations with a partner called Shared Studios. They work globally with folks around the world to curate really unique conversations with people on the ground in different countries with different experiences through different languages, really unique and awesome stuff. So we've partnered with them to set up 3 global conversations that'll be a part of our summit this year. And so I can share maybe one of my favorites. I mean, they're all going to be really great. The one that I am really excited about is called Creating Inspiring Public Spaces. So this is going to be a conversation with voices from around the US and also from folks in the Netherlands about how we are reimagining safe, compelling, and inclusive outdoor public spaces and innovating new possibilities for community building and engagement with those spaces. So we'll be talking with people working on reimagining music venues and the role that public spaces play in daily life as a tool for creating community. And that conversation will also be moderated by our own Eric Lazari of Denver's Civic Center Conservancy, which has played a really unique role in Denver's public spaces right now, being the civic center of our community and right outside of our Capitol buildings and right at the center of everything right now. So that's what I'm really excited about hearing from those conversations.
Yeah, that's awesome. I do think that global conversations are necessary. It's almost connecting the dots because this is not something that's isolated to Denver, to Colorado, to the United States. COVID-19 is affecting us in all ways, and in some cases, COVID-19 is, things are being lost to it. And so things are the nice part of our summit is that COVID-19 has, we decided not to let that be a barrier. And normally we only have one day of a summit. And COVID-19 has, in this case, brought about more sessions for you to come into, and so we're really excited to have access globally. So that's great. And since we're talking about access, how do people access the summit? How do they get in? How do they register? What do they need?
Yeah, so you can find everything on our website. It's denvercalc.org/summit. It's also the link in our bio right now here on Instagram. Again, denvercalc.org/summit. And then from there, you can see all of the information. We just posted our agenda at a glance last week, so you can see details on all of the sessions that we'll be having and what times those will be. And then you can click on the register now link to be taken to Eventbrite and register through there. It'll just ask you a couple questions so that we can make sure we're serving you the best that we can. We do have interpretation and translation that we are offering for this as well, so you can request that through Eventbrite by registering. The registration will be open. We won't close it as the first day of the session, so if you decide on Friday you just want to go to Saturday sessions, that's totally fine. You can still register. Just go through Eventbrite. That's where we'll have then all of the links to access each of the virtual sessions. We've got a detailed agenda that'll have the descriptions of the sessions, the link to access it, the biographies from the speakers, and then any links to other resources. So this is really going to be a tool you can continue using as well to discuss these topics and to really keep sharing these resources and access them yourselves.
Sounds like you and your team have put in a lot of work for the summit, and that's, it's a wonderful thing. And although you're behind the scenes and doing all the work necessary to put this on, are there any of the sessions that you're excited about?
Yeah, one that I'm particularly excited about is going to be what was our opening keynote. So this would have been our opening welcome session at our live event, but it's going to be our first evening keynote at this event. And we decided long before COVID or anything else this year that we had wanted to focus on transit in 2020. And with the research, with the pandemic that we're going through, transit became even more important. And we decided, let's not scrap that topic, but delve further, deeper into it. So we're really excited. We've got a great keynote lined up. His name is Cam Hardy from the Cincinnati Better Bus Coalition. He started a lot of advocacy in Cincinnati, Ohio about advocacy for better buses, and has been doing a lot of work there, especially even now with advocacy through COVID on transit issues. But then we've also got our own executive director, Mr. U.S. Cleckley, Denver Dottie, doing a welcome and moderating that panel a little bit. Cam will be joined by a couple other folks in Denver focused on transit and different topics, and talk about transit. And the session is called The Future of Transit in a Post-COVID World. And so that should be a pretty interesting session I'm excited about. That one's happening Wednesday evening at 5:30, September 16th. What about your favorite session? What are you excited about?
So I'm actually, before I tell you, I wanted just to take time and say hi to the people that we have online watching us. We have the Top Loom, Mighty, Righty, Girly, hello, and Jules. And Jules, welcome. So Jules 32 is. So for me, I am excited about our bike storytelling session, and this is a lot of us think about why we should ride. We often think about exercise or fresh air or enjoying the outdoors, but riding a bike is also a great way to run errands, to get to where you need to go, perhaps take your son or your daughter to school. So this session is to tell stories about how the tides are changing around biking, and a lot of that is because of COVID-19, because we are meeting infrastructure needs to bike. And we have some panelists who are really going to go off into their stories. Storytelling is really a really important tool to have and inspire. And so we have stories ranging from people who never rode bikes as young people, who never learned how to ride bikes. We have bike aficionados, people who are bike advocates who are going to participate in the panel. And so I'm really interested into not just hearing the stories, but bringing out more of the details around their biking stories and relating it and conveying it to the people who are attending. I'm really excited about that because I like stories and bikes, and so for me it doesn't really get better than that.
Yeah, that one should be a blast too.
Yeah. Since one of our goals of this event is networking and connecting people, those are our goals just in general outside of this event. But how are we looking to do that this year for the Streets for People Summit?
Yeah, I mean, that's been one of the goals always of our work, and so one of the struggles that we have been dealing with, and I'm sure all of you, is how do we stay connected right now, virtual? How do we encourage people to network when we're all just, numbers on a screen and we can only type in our questions? How can we still help facilitate conversations and connect people? So our team has put together some really creative networking events that'll also be virtual, but there will be opportunities and prompts for you to talk to each other and engage a little bit more. One of the really fun ones I'm looking forward to is a team trivia night that we are hosting about the community transportation networks. So if you don't know about the community transportation networks, there are 125 miles of new bikeways that are coming to Denver via these projects over the next several years. We're going to have a really quick bite-sized presentation about what it is, and then we're going to dive into team trivia to talk about different background, geography, maybe some technical stuff if you like getting into the bike details. A lot of different variety just around our transportation networks for that team trivia night. And then the other session I'm also really looking forward to around networking is Complete Streets Pictionary. So Denver has our draft Complete Streets design guidelines out right now. And we have taken all of the jargon and words that are listed in what makes complete streets, and we're going to figure out what that looks like by playing Pictionary. So that'll be a fun night to draw things like transit lanes and school zones and parklets, and you'll have to do it really quick. So it's really fun networking sessions too. But I know you're also doing a networking session, so why don't you tell us about yours too?
That sounds awesome. I like the idea of meeting work with fun. So so the virtual session that I actually am honored to do with one of our other team members, Lauren, who is a community connector for Montbello as well, our youth advisor, is we are going to do an all icebreaker session. Now, normally what we would do is we'll start off with an icebreaker in order to get the room warm, if you will, the room being the multiple people in their own rooms in the virtual world. And so this will be a virtual networking session where we're just doing all icebreakers. And the point is to have fun. The point is to utilize, whatever we're giving you, and you can take it off and go do your own icebreaking events for your own meetings. But, we really just want to take a whole session to meet and connect with one another, to laugh and connect in ways that is really hard in the virtual world. We have to be have to have a lot of intention when we're talking about networking, and so we've been thoughtful behind the scenes to bring you this all icebreaker session, which should be a lot of fun. We've done icebreakers before where we're engaging in people. We really hope that we get a good amount of participation, not just for the event or the session itself, but we really would like for you to connect with us and to connect with one another, and have a welcome break from the other sessions that we're going to be doing, and just have a time to enjoy yourself. We really have a lot of information that is important to convey, but we really want people to enjoy our summit as well. And so we're looking forward to that one. And so I believe we've reached the end of our actual questions for one another. And I see we have a few people online. Are there any questions for the people who are still with us that you have about the summit that you would like to know or about us? If you would like, you're more than welcome to leave that in the comment box, and we will answer. I believe we even talked about if you ask a question during a live stream, we would enter names in a raffle for a free ticket to our summit. And so we want to incentivize questions, and we will go ahead and leave some time for that if you have any questions. This is, with that said, we'll wait for comments, but is there any other opportunities where people can ask questions prior to the summit?
Yeah, so folks can definitely engage with us on social media here. You can ask us questions on Instagram. I just put out a call for questions on our stories as well this morning, so you can type one in. Oh, there's somebody here. Sorry I didn't catch it, somebody addressed it, but will the walking tours be streamed online as well as for people who have a disability? That's a great question. We actually have a meeting in about an hour to talk about finalizing all of our logistics for the walking tours. But actually most, if not all of them, will have a virtual option. So we'll either have a live stream available or a self-guided video to follow along with on your own that we'll also be able to share, because all 4 of those walks or bike rides are actually going to be showcased at one of our closing panels on Saturday. So we definitely want you guys to get a chance to experience them on the ground, even though even for the ones that will be in person, they'll be very limited. Small number of people will only be able to go on those in person. So thanks for asking that question. That's a great question.
Good question, Jules. And not only was it a good question, we're putting your name in a raffle for a free ticket. You stay tuned. Questions get results, and you might be the winner for a free ticket. So thank you again for tuning in and asking a question.
And I did have another thing I wanted to mention too, that I should have mentioned before. So for this event is hosted by Denver CALC, that's us, Denver Community Active Living Coalition, as well as we're co-hosting with Denver Streets Partnership, which if you haven't heard about them, you should definitely check them out. They're a local organization that also they are an advocacy organization focused on advocating for people-friendly streets. So we partner with them on planning the summit so that we can get a lot of different people to come to this event, whether that's people who work in the government, in private businesses, and in the nonprofit or advocacy sector, or just community residents as well. We want all of those people to be involved in this event. And then on that note too, one last thing I want to make sure I didn't forget to mention is that there is a sliding scale cost for the event. But if cost is at all a barrier, we know that budgets are tight this year. There is a free option. It's called Community Scholarship, and it's zero cost. You don't have to pay anything to register. So that's available on an honor system for anyone who needs it. So if cost is a barrier, just use that, and you can still come for free and engage in this conversation. We want you there. Thank you.
We absolutely want everybody to participate during the summit, coming to the summit. We want to eliminate the barriers. I have a special request, but I haven't put this through the channels at all. For the people who are doing scholarships, we would love if you do the scholarship, and you can attend without any issue. But we would love to maybe hear or have you send us a write-up about what you experienced, what you thought, what you thought about the sessions that you attended, just so we know we can get some more understanding about how it was taken. And we want to make sure that we're right there with you and giving you information that's clear and concise, and just would like to see a write-up. You don't have to, not a requirement. I also, for Jules, if you can leave your email so we can enter you into a raffle, that would be awesome. And hello, Kel Newman. Thank you for joining. What we're talking about is this year's Street for People Summit. You'll be able to access the video and get more information about it, but it is this month, September 16th through the 19th. You can find more information on our website, and I will one more time. I'll let Kayla say what the website is, and perhaps even leave or conclude this interview with some closing remarks. Thank you, Jules. We'll go ahead and we'll take that. We'll take your email address and we will put you in a raffle. There's a great chance you can win the raffle because you're the only one entered right now, and so go ahead and pat yourself on the back. Well, I'm not sure what'll happen in the next few minutes, but your chances of winning are high. You're a winner in our eyes.
Yeah, we hope that folks will join us for this event. We've definitely got a lot of registrations already, but we have no caps because we aren't in person. So we want to get as many people involved as possible. With the addition of the global conversations too, this is a conversation about Denver, but it's also much larger than that. So we are inviting people, if you live outside of Denver, if you're just interested in what we're talking about, what we're doing, register and join us. You don't have to travel here. It's going to be super easy for you to attend. And we've got people from all over the U.S. and all over the world as part of this event. So it's a great thing to engage in, even if you're outside of Denver. But we definitely want folks right here in Denver also to be attending because we want to make some local change here in Denver. So definitely check it out. Our website is www.denvercalc, CALC, that's the same as our thing here. denvercalc.org/summit is where you can find everything about the summit. All of the registration information is also available in Spanish and Vietnamese on our website. You can click on the links right there for the full translation. If you know of anybody that needs that, that is available. Yeah, please check it out and let us know if you have any questions. We're happy to answer any messages here on Instagram. You can also email us at calc@denvergov.org. And yeah, that's about all that we have. Is there anything else you want to add, Christian, or close it out? For typing that in.
Yeah, so access the summit and any information about it, share on any of your social media sites. We welcome anybody from babies to older people. Anybody is welcome from here to anywhere around the world, and we look forward to seeing you. I am all done on my side if you're good. Thank you for allowing us to interview each other and watching us, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day, Christian. Stay warm. Have a great day, everyone else. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.